by Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. My name is Nihal Samara. I'm the General Counsel and Legal Director here at Kaizen Synergy, and I'd like to welcome you all to today's session. Today's session focuses on the legal insights and the risk assessments required for agencies in terms of meeting their risk compliance obligations for pandemics. Due to the increased interest in this session, we have drilled down into what is actually required by agencies, specifically from a risk management perspective. And it's the organizational risk register that we're going to walk you through and show you today. It certainly builds off the work that we did last week and the week before as well too. And as always, you will get access to all of these resources. As always, we'd like to pay our respects to the elders past and present upon the lands on which we all meet. While this session is being run by webinar and recorded, we do pay our respects to the traditional owners accordingly. So let's jump in to the GEMBA dashboard, and I will actually show you the key requirements that your agency needs to meet. Now, just going through it to recap, at present, under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, there are penalties for breaches of the corporation's requirements for risk reporting within your agency. What we are finding is that the pandemic laws are moving from the emergency management requirements and pandemic laws onto the work health and safety obligations that your agencies need to meet. Now, as always, we have set out a number of recommendations. The recommendations are quite simply that you look at your risk register tool, and we will be going through this today to show you what it exactly looks like as well too. Now, let's actually just have a look at what the requirements are. I'm going to go directly into this and show you exactly what a risk register looks like, and also what the requirements are coming out of work health and safety. Now, you will find, let me jump directly into the GEMBA dashboard for you. Now, if we go into the GEMBA dashboard, you will find it listed here at gemba360.com. These are all the legal resources that you do have access to in order to view and get your up-to-date information as well. So you can, let me just jump here to go to gemba360.com. I'll show you what the login screen looks like. Here we are here. You will be sent your email and password to access the system. Once you do that, simply log in and you will see a screen that looks like this, and it will come up shortly. Now, what we have done is actually take out the work health and work safe requirements for your pandemic reporting requirements that your agency needs to meet. And we have put this into a risk register for your agency to actually use. Now, what this means for agencies quite clearly is that there are a key set of requirements that your agency needs to look at. All of these tables, quite simply, if I bring this up and I click on risk register, what will come up is an organizational risk register with a list of information that has been based on the work health and safety reporting requirements. Now, what this means quite simply from a WorkSafe point of view is to identify the risks that work within your agency. Now, what do we mean by this? Well, let me bring this up and I'll show you what we mean. Essentially, WorkSafe have turned around and said that you are required to actually look at specific reporting requirements for your agency. And we can actually see that based on the reporting requirements that were provided by WorkSafe. Now, going through this, what we note is that you can and you must meet a series of work health and safety reporting requirements. These reporting requirements require you to deliver certain safety measures for your agency. And when we look at this, essentially what we are seeing is a range of specific details that your agency needs to meet. Now, what do we mean by this? Well, essentially what we can see is that there are a list of reporting requirements that WorkSafe have told us that we need to meet. This includes a range of specific pandemic issues that, again, agencies need to show how they're actually meeting these requirements as well too. And it includes things like your own details of how you meet certain risks. Now, let me bring this up and show you what we actually mean. So here is the sample risk register that WorkSafe provided, and it focuses on retail businesses. And your screen will be updated in a few seconds. Here we are here. Great. And we can see that there are a number of risks that your agency needs to measure. And also, if inspectors do come out, you are expected to show how you can actually meet these requirements. What it means for community service organizations, we've actually amended this to make it relevant for your agency to use. Now, what this means is that when you actually place it into your risk register, what should this actually look like? Well, if we click on the risk register, and you can do this on your own dashboard as well too, what you will find is that the risk register that you can see turns into this type of risk register. And essentially, when it updates, it'll show up on what it looks like on your Gemba dashboard. Now, with the changes from the risk register, what you can view here is essentially looking at, and here it comes up, we're going to go straight into the risk register button. You can do this at your end as well too. And you'll find that what we have here is we've loaded all of these individual safe work requirements into your risk register for you to actually view. And here it is here. Now, with all of these, you can see that we've got 9 pandemic risks listed down the side, and these are key risks that your agency needs to show how you're actually going to do this. One of these, for example, is protecting employees, and you can see this here, protecting employees and customers, and how you're going to manage that. We're going to look at screening tools as a current control, and also looking at who is responsible for this. Now, if you simply click on edit, what will come up is the individual form that you can then update. The idea of this risk register is to make it as simple and as easy as possible for you to view. You can see that once you've actually gone into it, and you'll then come back to this screen here, you can actually automatically print out board reports. You've got your risk presentation and risk framework. And so we've loaded all of your safe work compliance obligations into one screen for you. And that makes it nice and simple for yourselves to be able to use this. So if we click on the edit button, essentially what comes up is the ability for you to actually edit this particular form and this particular screen. And if we just share your screen again, here we go for you to view. What you'll find is that you can actually then edit these forms and show how you're actually doing it within your own agency itself. And these legal resources are here for you to start using literally today. So with it, once you go in, and I've just clicked on edit, here we go again, and I'll just bring this up for you to be able to view. Well then, you can actually go in and mark all the different parts of the form itself and actually show what you need to do. And my screen is just catching up with me a little bit as well. Now, we are getting some questions coming through as well too. With all of these parts, your own login is just for your agency to be able to use. So it is something that your agency can actually use directly. It is not shared across multiple groups or anything like that. And here it is here. So you can actually go in, you can actually edit these fields, you can change them. Anytime you make it a change, it'll automatically give you the logs and the history of who's done what and when. And it'll also send you out some reminders as well too. So this way, rather than just having it on a Word document or Excel document, it'll actually send you reminders when these things need to be actioned and reviewed as well. And here's some sample text for us to look at. So with it, what I will suggest that you do is actually look at the individual parts of the risk register. We do recommend that you access the dashboard, review it. It is there as a resource for you to use. You can see that we will build on this as well too. So as SafeWork changes its compliance obligations, you'll get updates on this and you can actually start using it straight away. If you do have any questions, we do suggest that you reach out to us on 1300 360 3603 or email us at gemba360.com. If there are no other questions,